Alright everyone, good morning. Today is Sunday, August 25th, 2024 at 09:02. And today, we have our day one outlook to look, that's the 4 through 8. That's the day one outlook to look at today. Here's the day one. So first, we have a slight risk here for parts of Arizona into New Mexico, up into Utah and Colorado, and into Wyoming. Then we have another slight risk here for mainly a little bit of northern Nebraska, but mainly the Dakotas and Minnesota here. And then we also have our marginals here. We could start out in Kansas, down into Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, a little bit of Utah there, and Wyoming, and a little bit of Montana there. We also have one up here, and a little bit of both Dakotas, Nebraska, over into Minnesota. So, and just a little bit of Wisconsin, if you can see that. Also, a little bit of Michigan and Ohio are under a marginal risk today as well. So, anyway, our cities for today include Fargo, Grand Forks, Grand Junction, Moorhead, and Aberdeen under a slight, and Detroit, Denver, Albuquerque, Cleveland, and Colorado Springs under a marginal. So those are our risks for today. So let's go to deep dive into what risks we have in place. Today we have a 2% tornado risk, and just a little bit of Nebraska, and a little bit of North Dakota and South Dakota, and Minnesota has a 2%. So, cities will be Fargo, Grand Forks, Moorhead, Aberdeen, and Watertown. So, you could see a brief tornado, EF1, maybe even. So just be mindful of that. Now, our busy day would be this, the wind risk. We have a 15%, a little bit of Arizona, New Mexico, into Utah, Colorado, into Wyoming. We also have another 15% for Nebraska, North and South Dakota, and Minnesota. We also have our 5% here in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, into Wyoming, and a little bit of Montana there. We have this 5% that extends from Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, and just a little bit of Wisconsin. And this 5% over here that goes from Michigan into Ohio. So, again, our cities that are under these are Fargo, Grand Forks, Grand Junction, Moorhead, and Aberdeen under the 15%. In Detroit, Denver, Albuquerque, Cleveland, and Colorado Springs under 5%. So, 15% areas you could see damaging winds of 60 to 75 miles per hour, and 5% you could see damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Okay, moving on to today's hail risk. We got us 15% over here, and a little bit of New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. This 5% from Nebraska through South and North Dakota into Minnesota. Then we have our 5% from Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. This 5% going from Nebraska through North and South Dakota into Minnesota. Just a little bit of Wisconsin, and this one over here in Michigan and Ohio as well. So we could see, Fargo, Grand Forks, Grand Junction, Moorhead, and Aberdeen under a 15%, and Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, Akron, and Sioux Falls having a 5%. So 15% you could see hailstones of 1 to 3 inches, and 5% you could see 1 to 2 inch hail possible out of this. Our summary for today says, severe gusts and hail are most probable today over parts of the Four Corners to southwestern Wyoming, and this evening over portions of western Minnesota into the eastern Dakotas. So, those are basically our risks for today. There's today's hail risk, today's wind risk, today's tornado risk, and our overall day one outlook. So I hope you have a good day. Hope you stay weather aware. Stay safe. If anything else pops up, I will come back on. Now I do know tomorrow is more intense, So I will be back on for tomorrow. But anyway, for now, I hope you have a good day, stay weather aware, and stay safe.